Queen Elizabeth II has been revealed as a big fan of the Beatles, who expressed deep concern at the attack on George Harrison in his own home in 1999. A German ex-MEP who knew the legendary band himself from their days in Hamburg has revealed. Hans-Olaf Henkel recounted his remarkable tale after the Queen's spectacular funeral on Monday, watched by an estimated worldwide audience of more than 4 billion. Mr Henkel, who stepped down from the European Parliament in 2019, explained he used to date photographer Astrid Kirchherr, subsequently the girlfriend of one-time Beatles bass player Stuart Sutcliffe. In 1961, when he was aged just 21, the pair subsequently took him to the world-famous Reeperbahn, where he was introduced to John Lennon, Paul McCartney and George Harrison, but not yet Ringo Starr, with Pete Best still the group's drummer. Fast-forwarding almost 40 years, Mr Henkel, now aged 82, continued, "It was in 2000 that the Queen came to Berlin to officially open the new British embassy in Berlin. Queen Elizabeth's knowledge of the Beatles soon became apparent," said Mr Henkel. Image, Getty. Sir Paul McCartney shakes Queen Elizabeth II's hand in 2012. Image, Getty. "At that time I was president of the Federation of German Industries, BDI, roughly the equivalent of the British CBI. Much to my surprise, the British ambassador to Germany, Sir Paul Lever, invited my wife and me to a dinner in honor of the Queen at his residence at Berlin-Grunewald." Upon arrival, Mr Henkel said he had counted no more than 12 other invitees plus the Queen and Prince Philip, whom he hosted in 1998 when he came to represent Britain at the Hanover Industrial Fair. Just in, Meghan Markle couldn't believe she wasn't getting paid on walkabout. Hans-Olaf Henkel met the Fab Four in Hamburg, his hometown. Image, Getty. Mr Henkel added, "Only after Sir Paul introduced us to the Queen and Prince Philip was it that I realised why he chose my wife and me to attend this truly exclusive event. He had previously read my biography and discovered that I had frequently met the Beatles in Hamburg's rock clubs in 1961 and 1962. In his introduction to Her Majesty, Mr Lever mentioned not only Mr Henkel's position in German industry and his previous position as president of IBM Europe, but also Mr Henkel's previous association with the Fab Four, then A5. Mr Henkel said, "To my great surprise she immediately connected with me on the Beatles and not at all on my at that time rather prominent position in Germany's industry. Don't miss." Prince Harry told to Paul copies and abandon his memoir. Report behind Meghan Markle's Stella McCartney dress creation. Last minute, report the real royal family. Noel Gallagher swipes at the monarchy. Report, the Beatles with their MBEs in 1965. Image, Getty. The Beatles on stage at the Star Club in 1962. Image, Getty. "We had a delightful conversation about the group. She was not only totally well informed about Hamburg's role in the Beatles' career, she also told us herself how much she liked their music. Not only that, she described herself in a rather precise way about an attack by a burglar on the Beatles' lead guitarist George Harrison at his residence, who according to her suffered serious injuries. She described the event with a lot of sympathy on one hand and with quite a precision on the other." Queen Elizabeth II and world leader in pictures. Image, Express. Mr Henkel had previously been unaware of the attack, during which Harrison was stabbed by Michael Abram, a 34-year-old man diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia who broke into the musician's home in Friar Park, Henley-on-Thames. He admitted, "We were absolutely stunned to realize that the Queen had such detailed knowledge of Harrison's fate and that she shared her knowledge and her personal grievance with us. We thoroughly enjoyed the following reception: the dinner and the conversations with the Queen, the Prince, the Ambassador, the other guests and the lady-in-waiting, who was placed next to me and my wife. The Beatles meet the Queen Mother, after their appearance at the Variety performance in 1965. Image, Getty. Trending. Mr Henkel also recalled his first meeting with the Duke of Edinburgh, saying, "I have met the Prince in the late 90s, once at the Palace in his capacity as head of the WWF, of which IBM was then a sponsor, and again in 1998 when we had dinner together with Chancellor Helmut Kohl and Lower Saxony's Prime Minister Gerhard Schröder. Prince Philip represented your country at the opening of the Hanover Industrial Fair in the year Britain was the fair's lead country. We had a most interesting conversation about the speeches given earlier by Kohl, Schröder, himself and myself. He spoke of course English but among the two of us also German. He obviously spoke and understood German perfectly but kept that capability away from the public.